Hey there, it's Dina from IDon'tGetItTutoring.com. In this video, I'm going to explain how to solve systems of equations graphically. Let's get started. So in our previous video, I went over how to solve a system of equations algebraically. If you don't know how to do that, and if you haven't seen it, feel free to go on over to our website, IDon'tGetItTutoring.com, or even our YouTube channel to see that video. We have tons of other great ones as well, very informative with practice questions. So, solving systems of equations now graphically. So that means graphically with a graph. Or coordinate plane. Rather than looking at the equations this time, we look at the way they graph, then solving it with the numbers. So we basically want to find where these two graphs intersect, because those would be their solutions. So let's say we want to do, let me color code that, a line and another line. You could sit there and do the math, but on a test that's super fast paced, like the SAT, I recommend this way because it's so much faster and easier, and they do let you use a calculator, a graphing calculator on that test. So it's a really great tool to use to save time and to get the most accurate answer, because sometimes you might make some sort of calculation error, right? So, and you're gonna get the wrong answer, even though you know how to do it, but you just like added something wrong, or you forgot like a zero or something, you typed it in wrong into your calculator. So in order to make it like right and to make sure to do it correctly and to write the right answer, this is the best way to do it with the graphing calculator. So basically, we have a red line and we have a blue line, and we're trying to find that purple point where they intersect, right? Where it fits for the red line and the purple, the red line and the blue line. And this also applies not only to linear systems, not only just straight lines. It would work with, let's say, a parabola and a line. And you're not really limited to 2 equations. You could even do 3. So let's say we had a green line over here. Now, I don't know what color red, green, and blue make. That would probably be a black point. I don't really know what color it would make. Or like a really weird brown. Maybe something more like this. Yeah. Brown. Yeah. So that would also solve the system of 3 equations. And let's say in this case we have another parabola. These two brown, whatever this color is, oops, these two like brownish points. Why does that keep happening? That's weird. These 2 brown points would solve the system, because all 3 graphs pass through those 2 points. They fit into the graphs. They fit into the equations. They make it true. Now, let's say we had an extra line here, and it was like this, like a, no, that's not good. Let's say we had like a cubic function now. But it only goes through one of these points. Sure, this point right here has 3 lines going through it, but this one has all 4. So this one is the only solution to the system, because there's other points on this graph where there's multiple lines going through it, but the solution to the system is true for all of the equations. So that is why this point would be the solution to the system of 4 equations. Okay, so when you find it on your calculator, an easy way to find where they intersect after you graph your lines, you put them into y equals, and then you press graph, and then slowly it's going to show the lines, like the lines are going to start drawing, and you're going to see your graph and all these lines. And sure, you see the lines, but on such a small screen, if it was like a small screen like this, and you see all these lines, you're not going to be really able to tell which point exactly it is by your eye. Like, you can't tell if it's like 80 or 100, or you can't tell, depending on the window too. So in order to get it precisely, what you have to do is you go to the button Trace, but Trace doesn't really do much. You have to go to Second Trace on your TI-84 graphing calculator from Texas Instruments, and you go Second Calc, which is the trace button. So you press the second button, then the trace button, and then it's going to give you a set of options. Put intersect, and then you bring that little cursor near where you think that point would lie to see that exact point where all of the lines go through. And you're going to be able to tell which line is which, and that they're different lines because they're all different colors. It's blue, red, pink, black, green. Yeah. So you put your little cursor near where all the lines are going through. You could see. You press it for each and every one of them. You press enter, and then after that, it's going to give you the exact point where they all intersect. Another way you could do it is you go to second graph. So that gives you a table of x and y values. So it's going to look a little something like this. And so on. You're going to get like an x value of 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can move up and you can move down in the x's. It goes to negatives. It goes to positives. If you're working with equations that are pretty easy to work with, and like the numbers aren't like huge, like the scale isn't huge, you don't have a large window like from 0 to 1,000,000, and you could like go up and down through it, you could see where the y's match the x. So let's say we have like okay, that doesn't make any sense. There we go. So you see how here all the y values are equal to that same x value, meaning when you put a certain x value in, it gives you the same y's. That would be the solution to that system of equations, because like I said, you have that same y for this x. So the solution to that equation would be 5, 6. These aren't, x equals 6 isn't a solution because different y's. Same for x equals 4 and 3. Yeah. So that's how you solve the system of equations graphically. It's as simple as that. The calculator makes it incredibly easy to find that stuff. Another great resource is Desmos. It's an online graphing calculator, completely free. It's an amazing tool, and currently on the digital SAT, that is the calculator that's included on the test. On the device that you're testing with, it gives you Desmos during your test. Great tool. Doing that is a little different with Desmos, but it's very easy. It's just like it tells you to write an equation And like this would be like the graph, right? Pretend this is the website. And there's like a little plus button if you want to add like another equation. And then you would type the equation out, y equals x, y equals x plus 1. And it would graph it on the, ooh, these lines make it a little messy. Let me clean it up a little. Something like that. Well, okay, I did make parallel lines, but okay, bad example. Let's pretend I said x plus 3. No, that doesn't make a difference. 2x. I said y equals 2x, okay? And yeah, there we go. And once you put your little cursor, right, little mouse thing on the graph and you click, it gives you like a point, and when you drag it to the point, it's gonna tell you, it's gonna like pop up, it's gonna be like a little box, and it's gonna tell you the x and the y. And it's like super easy to use. And yeah, that concludes our video on solving systems of equations graphically, especially using your calculator. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. Bye.